Welcome students. In this video we are gonna talk about fractions and decimals. Suppose we have a cake and there are 3 children. To divide the cake equally among all the 3 children, we cut the cake into 3 pieces and give one to each student. This is called fraction. Each child got one fraction of the 3 fractions of the entire cake. Mathematically, fraction is defined as the part of a whole. Now suppose we have 2 cakes and 3 children. Then to divide the cake equally among the 3 children, we cut the cake 1 into 3 pieces and cake 2 into 3 pieces. Now there are 6 pieces in total and we give 2 pieces to each student. Thus each child got 2 fractions out of the 6 fractions of the entire distributable cake. One simple example of fraction that you can derive is your marks in a class test. Suppose you got 6 marks out of 10 in your class test, then you got 6 fractions of the total 10 fractions of the marks. Mathematically, we write fractions in the form p over q, where p is called the numerator and the q is called denominator. Fractions are divided into 3 types: proper, improper, and mixed fractions. A fraction in which numerator is smaller than denominator is called a proper fraction, and the one in which denominator is less than the numerator is called a improper fraction. Mixed fractions can be regarded as a special case of improper fractions. Improper fractions can be written as a mixed fraction and vice versa. Mixed fractions are written in the form L p over q, which are simplified as L plus p over q. For converting improper fraction into mixed fraction, the q component of the improper fractions remains the same in the mixed fraction. The L and N components of the mixed fraction can be obtained such a way that q times L plus N equals p component of the improper fraction. This same method can be reversed to find the improper fraction out of a mixed fraction. Here is an example. Observe this example carefully, and if you have any doubts, do let me know in the comments. When we have a group of fractions, we can categorize them as like fractions or unlike fractions. The fractions having the same denominator are called like fractions, and the fractions having non-common denominator are called unlike fractions. A fraction remains unaltered if its numerator and denominator are multiplied with the same number. The addition and subtraction operations can be done on the fractions by converting them into the like fractions, and then adding or subtracting the numerators according to quotient, keeping the denominators unaltered. The addition and subtraction can also be done using the cross multiplication method. The multiplication operation can be done without converting them to like fractions, multiplying the numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. Reciprocal of a fraction is 1 over that fraction. For a fraction p over q, its reciprocal is 1 over p over q, which is equal to q over p. For the division of two fractions a and b, we can write it as the product a and the reciprocal of b, and then simply evaluate it. Equal and equivalent fractions. Two fractions are said to be equal if they have same numerator and denominator, whereas two fractions are said to be equivalent if they have different numerators and denominators but yield the same result on simplification. Now, the decimals are a special kind of fractions in which the denominator is 10 or in the powers of 10, that is 100, 1000, 10,000 and so on. Now let we have a fraction 2 over 10. In the decimal format it is written as 0.2, where point is called the decimal point. To write any fraction in the form of a decimal, first convert the denominator to into the powers of 10 by multiplying numerator and denominator by the same number, then that fraction can be written as a decimal by writing the same number of digits to the right of the decimal point as there are the number of zeros to the right of 1 in denominator. Simply, if you have to write 66 over 100 as a decimal, simply write 66 and then place the decimal point before the last two digits as there are two zeros in 100. Now take a look at the given example for further clarification. If you have any doubts, do ask me in the comment section. Talking about percentages, they are a special fractions or special decimals where the denominator is 100. Suppose you have a cake and you divide it into 100 pieces and take away 36 pieces, then you have 36 fractions of the total 100 fractions of the cake and is called as 36% portion of the cake or any other quantity for that matter. Consider another example. You won a lottery of 200 rupees and they said that 14% of the total amount will be curtailed in the form of tax and you will receive only 86%. Then the amount you will receive is 86% of 200, that is 0.86 cross 200, which is equal to 172 rupees. This is all the basic stuff about decimals and fractions. Thank you.